In the previous episode, you learned how to create a custom indicator. Hi, I'm the Quant, and in this episode, we're going to create a plug-and-play indicator that will be used by our robot. Open Ctrader and click on Algo. Now that we've created our custom indicator, we're going to turn it into a plug-and-play version. Click on Cbot, then New, then build a new algorithm. Name it Plug-and-Play Cbot Bollinger Bands. Leave it as Cbot. Choose C#, select Using Template, and click on Bollinger Bands Sample. Now we have two identical robots. First Cbot and Plug-and-Play Cbot Bollinger Bands. We will use first Cbot to compare the results throughout the video. Here, we're going to take a closer look at how the robot thinks. We'll review the full logic in detail later, but for now, we will focus only on the onBar_closed function. This part of the code controls the robot's decision-making. It looks at the current bar, compares it with the Bollinger Bands, and decides whether it should buy or sell. The rule is simple. If the low price of the current bar touches or goes below the bottom band and the previous bar stayed above the bottom band, then the robot closes any sell positions and opens a buy position. And the opposite rule works the same way. If the high price of the current bar touches or goes above the top band and the previous bar stayed below the top band, then the robot closes any buy positions and opens a sell position. This is the basic structure of a reversal strategy. Now we're going to copy this code. You can simply press Ctrl+V as well. We will integrate this logic into our plug-and-play indicator. Let's switch back to our custom indicator. Here, we're going to paste our code just below the bottom band. You can simply press Ctrl+V. When we look at the code, we can immediately see several elements underlined in red. For example, Bollinger Bands appears as an error. Remember, in episode 2, we created the Bollinger Bands instance using the variable named Boll. If we check the Cbot as well, we can see it uses the same principle, only the variable name changes. So, let's return to our indicator and replace Bollinger Bands with Boll. Next, we notice that close positions is also underlined. We will remove the functions close positions and execute market order because we do not need them inside an indicator. Instead, I'm going to show you another useful skill. Type chart.drawIcon. You will see that this function requires 5 parameters: a name, an icon type, the bar index where you want to place the icon, the price level where the icon should appear, and finally, a color. For the name, we'll write up icon. And now, I will intentionally make a mistake, just to show you the difference later. Then choose chart icon type.up arrow. For the bar index, we use index. Each index in your chart represents one candle. Index is the current candle, and index -1 is the previous candle. For the price location, we use bars.lowprices open bracket index close bracket, and for the color, we choose color.lime. Now let's do the same for the sell condition. We change the name to down icon, the icon to chart icon type.down arrow, the price location to bars.high prices open bracket index close bracket, and the color to color.red. All right, let's run it and see what happens. We can see that only 2 arrows appear on the chart, even though our robot takes dozens of positions. Let me explain why. In the code, the name of the icon is up icon and down icon. This means the icon is now uniquely identified by that single name. So every time a new condition is met, the previous icon is replaced by the new one. To fix this, we simply need to add the index to the name. Since the index represents each individual bar, every time a condition is true, the indicator will write name plus index. This makes every icon unique, and it prevents them from being overwritten. Now let's move on to the plug-and-play signal. Before we continue, a quick reminder. All the code you see in this video is available on Discord. The link is in the description. All right, let's continue. We've noticed that our Bollinger Bands are displayed correctly on the chart. We have the cloud, the colors, and everything works visually. But our goal is not to create a visual indicator for manual trading. Our goal is to turn this indicator into a signal that a robot can use. Because of that, the top, main, and bottom outputs are no longer needed. So let's remove all the extra outputs and keep only result. Next, inside each condition where we draw the icons, we will add, for the buy signal, result open bracket index, close bracket, equals 1 semicolon. For the sell signal, result open bracket index, close bracket equals -1 semicolon. Now, remember, in the previous episode, we added a cloud. The cloud will no longer work here because it requires the outputs we just removed. So we simply delete the cloud attributes as well. And finally, change isOverlay equals true to isOverlay equals false. So we move the signal into its own separate window instead of drawing it on the chart. Build the indicator, and let's see what it looks like. Here, we can clearly see a problem. The result does not match our indicator, and I'm going to explain why. When we look at the code, we can see that for a buy condition, result is set to 1, and for a sell condition, result is set to -1. So if none of these conditions are true, we actually don't know what value result has. Let me explain the logic. If one of these two conditions is true, we get a value for result. But to cover all the other cases, all the bars where neither condition is true, we need to add an else. Else simply means for all the remaining situations. So we write, else, result open bracket index close bracket equals 0 semicolon. This way, +1 means a buy signal, -1 means a sell signal, and 0 means no signal. Now let's run it and see the result. Perfect. The result now shows exactly the same thing as the icons. Let's keep going. In our robot, we want speed and efficiency. That means we don't actually need the icons anymore. They're only visual help for us. So we can safely remove all the lines that draw icons on the chart. The robot will keep using the result values internally, and everything will run faster and cleaner. Episode 3 is now coming to an end. In the next episode, I'll show you how to add this indicator directly into our robot. If you haven't done it already, thank you in advance for the like and the shares. Stay focused. I'll see you right after this.